So the widow of a Phoenix police officer killed in the line of duty had to make the difficult decision to rehome her dog, but she didn't have to stray too far away from the police family to find the dog a good home. So here's the story of how Myla met Milo.
We love dogs. We had plans someday to have tons of dogs.
Kristen and Dave Glasser had big dreams. The dog lovers were building a life together with their two young kids, and Milo was the newest member of their family. But in May 2016, that dream was shattered when Phoenix police officer David Glasser was killed in the line of duty.
Obviously, after Dave passed, it was hard. And two very large young dogs was a lot to take care of. And I tried and tried and tried, but we moved to be closer to my family, which came with a much smaller backyard than he was used to, and it just got to the point where it was more than I could take care of by myself.
Kristen made the difficult decision to rehome Milo. She was put in touch with Myla the communications supervisor at the Phoenix Police Communications Bureau. Myla fell in love with Milo, and with names so similar, how could they not? So she took Milo into her home, and not long after, deciding to bring him into the office.
Milo became our support canine in March. And that was kind of right at the beginning of things kind of turning to the hectic 2020 that we're in right now. It was perfect timing, and right now it means the world to all of us to have him here.
Myla was sponsored and trained through the Fetch Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And once Milo had his K9 Good Citizen certificate, he started work. Milo roams the Communications Bureau during the work week, giving and getting love, something he comes by quite naturally.
It was just an amazing series of events that led him to be able to come back to the police family and do what he's doing here in communications by showing love that Dave Glasser was so good at to begin with.
And today is a particularly special day for the Glasser family and for Milo. Kristen and her two kids are reuniting with Milo after nearly 2 years apart. One member of this little family reunion is so clearly missing, but Kristen says there is some comfort in seeing this story come full circle.
You always want to find a reason for things. And just him kind of finding his purpose through all of this. I feel like this is where he was kind of destined to be and what he was destined to do. And we were just a little story along that way, but because of how it all played out, he's found where he's supposed to be. And bigger picture for me, that just gives me hope that through all this, there is a bigger story being written, and giving him up was one of the hardest things I did. So to see that come into a positive thing it gives me hope that there's a more positive to come.
Yeah, no doubt, a bigger story being written here. And despite the sad circumstances, Milo and Myla were meant to be. We are joined this morning by both of them. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
First of all, what a story about how you guys connected. Is it still so hard to believe to you?
It really is. It's just, like I said, amazing chain of events that happened. And it was important to Kristen that Milo stayed in the police family. And so, you know, she was looking inside. I got word that he needed a new home and talked to my husband. My husband was completely on board. The family was completely on board. And the minute that Milo came to our house, it was perfect. Our existing dogs were instant friends with him, and everybody got along, and we thought, okay, well, here he is. He's part of our family.
It was all divine. So what do you make of these events? They are bittersweet. It's full circle. It's irony. What do you make on how this actually happened and how it played out?
Well, destiny, for kind of a corny word, but you know, the fact that we can have Milo continuing Dave Glasser's legacy within the police department, You know, there wasn't a day that went by that Dave didn't tell someone that he loved them.
Yeah.
Love you, man. You know, he was just always spreading that love. And now Milo gets to come in to the police department, the communications center, along with any other area that he's in, and just share the love that he has. He is a very kind spirited dog, and just so gentle with people. He's a visitor. He'll definitely come over and sit with people and visit, and just give them love and support. So it was destiny, I think, from the time that he came into our household, that it was going to end up like this.
Tell me about the reunion that's going to happen today.
Well, you know, it's just bittersweet. I've kept in contact with Kristen, just letting her know how Milo's doing and keeping her updated. She was ecstatic that he was going to move into this role, and I just think it's going to be amazing that they'll be able to see him in action.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing to see. I wonder, as far as you go and how things have played out, has this been life-changing in any way to you? Oh, Milo's out. Milo's gone.
He's moving over.
Yeah.
It really has. I never once thought that I would have a therapy dog or be involved in anything like this. And, you know, when I thought, oh, he'll be a good fit in communications, and the story was just amazing, I had no idea really where it was going to go. I didn't know what therapy dog involved, you know, anything like that. So it's been an amazing journey.
Yeah. And it's an amazing story. I wanted to see the personality of little Milo there, but it looks like he's out of there. And he's bringing a lot of joy to the folks who are working there in that communications division. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and thank you for what you're doing for the Glasser family as well.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Of course.